What's up, guys? It's hot as crap outside, just in case you didn't know. We are about to perform a water test on this particular window. This builder here did something a little unique that I thought was a worthwhile share. Their intent was to get this window essentially as close to the slab as possible without putting the window directly on the slab. Of course, the negative of putting the window directly on the slab, if it's a clad window, well, there's a lot of negatives that come to mind, but the first one, if it's a clad window, you can get some condensation from the slab. I don't love wood sitting on the slab. Number two, you're not able to flash it properly with a nail fin or install with a nail fin if you were to install a window directly on the slab. With that said, I have seen it done directly on the slab. I don't recommend it. Manufacturers don't recommend it, but it can be done if you're trying to push a certain pace. Secondly, this builder was trying to avoid doing a 2x bottom plate. A 2x6 in this case, I believe, if I remember right. And so he wanted it closer to the ground, because if he did a 2x, 1.5 inch reveal, the flooring's gonna come up to maybe 5/8 when it's all said and done, 3/4, give or take. And there's gonna be a piece of wood, the bottom plate, that needs to be trimmed out. Now I'm saying things that you all know. So what did we end up doing here? What we ended up doing is getting a treated 1x as the bottom plate, almost like a compromise from a 2x. However, then we needed to add a piece of treated 1/2 inch plywood on the exterior face. You can't see it, okay? But on the exterior face of the slab, and anchor it, fasten it through the concrete. That way, one, it's off the slab, and two, it can be installed with a nail fin and flashed properly. After we did that, then we sat a seal pan on it. We work with a flashing guy here in town that many of you probably know and use, and we then sat a metal seal pan down without anchoring it through the bottom. There's a lot of nuanced details in getting it installed and flashed properly. There's actually one more step. We're actually not quite done yet. There's one more flashing that needs to be done here at the bottom, but we're at 98%. And we're about to execute a water test for the sake of this builder. My point is, let's just say you've got a client who wants floor to ceiling windows, and they're adamant on wanting the flooring finished to the window. That can be done. And matter of fact, once you swing inside, we'll look at it from the inside perspective. You can see it's sitting on the 1x here. We actually ripped the 1x6 down to the depth of this window. This is a vinyl window. You could use lots of different options in terms of which windows. This particular client, like the flat look, which is why they went with this window. But nonetheless, the point here is not really the window. The point is how we accomplished this. He's going to float out the flooring, the floor level, I should say, and ultimately get that flooring to finish right at the bottom of this frame. So he's got to make up a 3/4 inch gap. That'll be done with the flooring. So my point is, if you have a client that's adamant of having floor to ceiling windows, number one, and number two, adamant about having that finished floor flush with the window with no trim there, and a lot of times they want a sheetrock return coming back to the window. So if you get this more contemporary transitional style that you're seeing pictures of from your clients, let us know. Ideally, let us know on the front end so we can make sure we're bidding the right way. Secondly, let us know, because there's a certain way for us to help you kind of manage that install and try and make sure it's a quality install, flashed properly with a good seal pan. So yeah, I hope that's helpful. You can accomplish it with a 1x and plywood on the exterior side of the concrete. I'm sure some of you have done it different ways. I'd love to hear how. But ultimately, we're trying to get away from a 2x to get further to the slab.